Hey, this is Kateryna and Sarah from I Was Diagnosed, and Sarah wants to talk to you about a topic that he is very passionate about.
Yeah. Well, so as you know, Kateryna was diagnosed with MS about 5 years ago, and we just started reading a lot of books, a lot of science studies, pretty much everything we could get our hands on. And one of the things that really became apparent was this topic of like behavioral modification, which is really what it all comes down to, right? Which is doing things that are available to you to manage the risk of things getting worse. So it's a weird topic to be in, and it's more akin to investing and risk management there because, look, you can change your diet, you can change your exercise, you can change your stress levels, you can change your rest, kind of these four pillars. And you may get worse, you may not get better, and there's no guarantee, and you can't do a split test with yourself, right? Like one version that does all these things and one version that doesn't. It's just not in reality. So what you're doing is you're looking at managing your risk of, negative future outcomes. And so to do that, you start to look at modifying your behavior, like your diet and your lifestyle and your emotions and all of these things that tie into your nervous system and all of it. So we're looking at that, and the topic of behavioral modification comes up, and what they really don't tell you about this topic is that it's really, really, really hard, and it's really hard, and they don't tell you why it's hard. And the reason it's hard is because it's less about modifying your own self and behavior as it is about modifying the environment around you.
Yeah, and let me just interject here, because I always thought that, once I understand the concept of what's needed from me, then I can start demanding it from myself, and I can turn that willpower on and discipline, everything I'm pretty good at, and I can just achieve that. But that's not the case.
Yeah, she's amazing when it comes to discipline and willpower, more than anybody I've ever met. And at the end of the day, the real picture isn't about how much willpower and discipline you have. It's your ability to actually change your environment around you so that it calls for those things, so that the people around you are also eating well and exercising and taking care of themselves, and you're not this only person doing that. It's a really long conversation and a long topic, and we don't have time to get into it with this vlog post, but I just wanted to really stress this idea that people don't really understand really what they're going up against when they look to modify their behavior and do it forever. This isn't like a 30-day fast or a 6-month thing. This is for the rest of your life. You're changing the way you eat, changing the way you move your body, changing the way you sleep.
You think,
your thoughts, your emotions, all of this stuff. It's forever.
Yeah.
And to do that and not change your environment is, pretty much, I hate to say it, but just to look at the sample size, there's a very low probability of success, And so one of the things we noticed is that learning about things, this is something we distinguished a couple years into this process, was that we were kind of obsessed with learning. And what we realized was that learning doesn't make a difference. Knowing what to do doesn't make a difference.
It feels like it does.
It feels like it, right? You have the experience and the sensation of that this makes a difference. But the only thing that makes a difference is actually doing it in reality, right? Like changing what you eat in reality, meal to meal, one meal at a time. That's the only thing that matters. So not to say that learning isn't important.
And it's also about that incremental change, right? Over time. It's not about, boom, I'm radically going to discard everything I've been eating today. And maybe but it's still kind of you were talking about one day shock versus just incremental molding of this, behavior.
It's a totally different mindset. And again, I don't want to say that you shouldn't learn things. It's just to really create distinctions between learning something versus applying and doing. And at the end of the day, the only source of results is not what you learned, but actually what you're applying and you're doing, which is a different conversation, and that's much harder. So anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, and our cat is now scratching the cat post yet again. Let's have a little look at that. Thanks, Atlas. And now he's decided he's going to stop scratching the post. Okay, great.
I do want to have a one question. So how do you change your environment? Where do you begin?
I think that's the single best question people should be asking themselves is just doing a simple assessment at first. And
what is my environment?
Yeah, well, but that only has value inside of the outcomes you want to create. So inside of how do I want to eat? How do I want to exercise? How do I want my day to look that's different now? Like, what's the gap between what I want to do and where things currently are, and what's everybody around me doing? Like, if you have just crap food in your house and it's, you have to use willpower to not eat it, that's not helping you. And so you have to look at, can you throw all of this away or donate it to a food shelter or something?
Yeah. This is a really good topic. Let's cap it for now, but I want to pick it up next time when we start the video, because I have a lot of questions about, like, what does it look like? Where should people begin? What's the first step?
Yeah.
So maybe we can, like, start unraveling that.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. We'll be sending you more of these conversations that we have on this journey. All right.